There's two options for advanced grading inside of As You Learn, and one of the options is rubrics. There's a separate page and video on how to set that up. What I'll be walking you through in this video is how to use the marking guides, which are very similar to rubrics, but there's a couple of key differences. In both cases, rubrics or marking guides, you can either choose to use it with an existing assignment, or you can choose from the assignment setup, which is where I am now. But the key step in either is going to be to come down here to make sure that when I open up grade, I switch it from the default, which is simple direct grading, to marking guide in my case. So I'm going to click on marking guide. I'm going to come down and click on save and display. So next I'm going to be prompted to either create a grading form from a template or to create a new one from scratch. And I'm going to be creating mine from scratch. Click on the button here. You'll need to name your marking guide. And then right here below description, you'll notice there's an area here for setting up the criterion name and also the description for students or markers. So if I click on the area that says click to edit, the text field becomes available to me. The final part for each criterion is just the maximum score, and this is the area where I would enter the value for the maximum number of points in that area. There's also a button here for add criterion, which allows me to continue to build this using many criteria, and then even a spot here for frequently used comments. So I'm going to pause for just a second and set this up. All right, so now I'm back, and you'll notice that I entered a couple of different criteria for my marking guide. I also put in a couple of frequently used comments. These frequently used comments can be really helpful if you feel like you're repeating the same kinds of feedback when you're scoring these for students. Creating these frequently used comments and having them as a bank still would allow you to customize these, but sometimes it's a good way to save a little bit of time if there's some consistent feedback that you're giving throughout. So I'm going to come down to the bottom and I'm going to click on Save Marking Guide and make it ready. And then if I had students who had submitted assignments that I'd need to grade, I could click on View All Submissions, select the student and click on the Grade button, and I'd see that my marking guide is here. I could put feedback in each of these areas or click on the button to insert frequently used comments. I could put in my number, and then down here at the bottom, if I've set it up to do so within the assignment settings, I still have an area for feedback comments and feedback files. Finally, there's the button at the bottom that allows you to decide whether or not you'd like students to receive an email alerting them that you've graded this assignment. I'm going to check this as yes and click Save Changes. And then once it gives me this message, I know that I'm ready to go on and start grading the next student. So that's really all there is to it. There is one final feature I wanted to mention, and that is within this gear menu here, you click on this, you can export marking guide grades here. And this would allow me to export all of the comments and all of the feedback and all of the scores into an Excel file. So that might be a handy tool as well.